Hello, how do I make this work? There we go. Hey, gang. I'm sick again. Great. I'm gonna try and make it through this. It's like me and my wife have just constantly been switching germs. Like I was sick, then she was sick, and then I think I'm sick again. I feel great, but obviously I sound sniffly and stuff. But hello, thank you for being here. Mookie, BT, Kingdom, Ian, Braxel, hello. Yeah, I turned off some settings. I'm going to put them back on. It was like a reduced background noise. Maybe it's my sniffling. I wanted to show you something today. Ooh, let's make that drop. This. All right, so I bought this online. I looked on where do I buy stuff online? I usually look first on the gear page because it has this sort of mystical characteristic of being able to like have anything for sale. Anything you're looking at or looking for, at some point it'll just go like boop, hey, that's for sale, and it's usually within a week. Especially pedals and overdrive pedals and stuff like that. But they were all sold, or I had just missed one. And then I went looking on Reverb, and mostly just new or expensive. So this is the J-Rocket Phil X overdrive. And the reason I got it is I was playing a set and I let the other band use my amp, and the other guitarist had one and he sounded amazing. And I was like, what is he doing? Jeez. So I'm like, I got to give this a try. So I bought it from Guitar Center used, which Guitar Center used has pretty good prices, to be honest. But this is the problem, guys. Every time I've ordered from Guitar Center used online, this is what they do. They just look for a box in their warehouse and they go, oh, this will work. They drop your piece of gear in there that you just purchased, and then they send it out. That's it. There's no packaging whatsoever. This is a professional company. No care whatsoever of what you just bought. And they're like, well, at worst case, if it breaks, he'll just return it. Who cares? Right? I mean, they have that liberal return policy, but literally, I just want to show you what they did. Oh my gosh, there is padding in here. So I guess I got to give them credit for that. But I mean, no, it's only so that the lid would close. There's not like it's the same thing. They just drop it in there. At least this had a box to it. But I've ordered rack gear, and the rack gear it was just dropped in a box, and it was like shing shing shing, and of course it was destroyed by the time I got it. But I'm not freaking out because guitar pedals are meant to be stepped on, so they're generally indestructible. So I'm not freaking out on that. But come on, Guitar Center, do better. Jeez, man. Right, Ian. Yeah, a guitar. Like huge box, no case, no padding, just guitar in a box. Here, this will work. And then they ship it out? That's crazy. Man. Anyway, Guitar Center, do better. Yeah, if it's something that could break, I'd really think twice about having Guitar Center ship it to you. Maybe it's better to have it shipped to the local Guitar Center and then you pick it up. I don't have a local Guitar Center anymore because it used to be the Sherman Oaks one. But if you remember, there was a car accident that hit a fire hydrant that launched water through the front door that flooded the Sherman Oaks Guitar Center. And I don't think that's coming back ever. I think they collected an insurance check and we're like, great, we out. You know. Hey Cole, good morning, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You just took delivery of some Ruby 6550s for one of your amps. Looking forward to biasing it up today. What are you putting it in? 6550s. Is it a Fryette or a? What are you putting it in? I'm really curious. In other news, oh yeah, I was going to show you some stuff. In other news, how do I do this? Share screen. I have a couple albums that just came out. This is some of my score work. I've been doing all of the Forza Motorsport video games. So this is on Bandcamp. It's on all of the streaming platforms too. If you're a person that's like, I hate streaming platforms and I like music, I like buying music, that's fine. You don't even have to buy it, but it's out there in case you do. You could listen to it on Bandcamp. You can listen to it on Spotify. Or Apple Music, or one of those other evil streaming platforms that ruined music. But it's all good. So Forza 6, this is this is massive score. It's not even all the music, but that is huge orchestra. Big orchestra, lots of different stuff in this one. Not a ton of guitar. It's got guitar texture stuff, but if you're into more like film score stuff, that is what we are going for on Forza 6. Forza 7 is all guitar. No shreddy stuff, like no solos and stuff. But if you like fuzzes and Telecasters and Gretches and vintage amps and stuff like that, this whole score was just like, imagine if you were Jack White or the Black Keys or something like that, mixed with, I don't know, cool modern bands, and do a score that way. And then this is the most recent, and this is more back to kind of more synthy stuff. It was a heavy synth score. And that was the latest one we did. And then another thing I want to show you is, let's see, we're going to remove that. I'm learning how to use this, guys. Getting stronger. All right. And then, if you didn't catch this, there is a new interview on John Stankorb's channel where, look at this familiar face there. And I had a great conversation with him. Really lovely on the Guitar Hang podcast. So I think, and let's look at who the latest Guitar Hang podcasters are. It was me, and then me, Noel Johnston, who is, you got to follow Noel. He is an absolute genius of guitar and education and all that stuff. And then John Petrucci. Yeah. So we do it in order of awesomeness. John Petrucci, Noel, and then me. So, and then clearly there's been no one after me. So that's what that is. So yeah, there you go. That's the Michael Nielsen news for the week. I'm gonna hide over here. I'm gonna blow my nose. I'm gonna come back and we can chat, right? Let's see. I know I'm gonna do this wrong. All you're gonna hear is wah. And I'm back. Cool. So hey. You're putting them in a Fuchs Mantis. Oh, that's the like rocker, their rocker one. Cool. Interesting. How do I feel about 6550s? Yeah, I think they're good. I don't know if I've played an amp. Does my Deliverance have that? I think my Deliverance might have that. So big, powerful, delicious, you know, it's 6550s. Big, high-powered amps. It's good stuff. Let's take a look at our chat here. Just gonna go through some and see how long it could last. Oh, by the way, gosh, man, I've been just absolutely grinding trying to get everyone's videos out for NAMM. There is a lot of stuff, fun stuff coming. Anyway, I can't tell you about it, so that's a nothing burger. Hey, Michael, are you still using the JJ Junior? I've added a Syn 1 and Synergy BE-BB module to mine. Now it's a multi-channel portable gigging monster. Yeah, so that now you have the clean on the JJ Junior, which is badass, and the Syn 1, which gives you 2 more channels. That's fantastic. Yeah, super cool rig. I've never owned a JJ Junior. What happens? This happens sometimes. I got a JJ Junior early to demo, and instantly I was like, this is amazing. This is so cool. And they're like, cool, great, thanks. Okay, so please make a video for it. I'm like, cool, yeah, and I want to keep this. And they're like, well, you can't because it's got to go to someone else afterwards. I'm like, okay, well, I want one, definitely. So I do the video. I'm like, yeah, I fall in love with it. Super great. And then I have to give it back. I'm like, oh, bummer. Okay, like, let me have one. And they're like, well, we're sold out. Okay, wait. And then 6 months later, I'm on the next amp. So it's like I'm working on the Jake Ely amp. And then I'm like, well, I love that one too. So yeah, I actually don't have a gazillion amps. I've sort of slowly been selling them or sending them off to a farm. Like if I love the amp and it's it has some like kind of value or something, thankfully, like I could give it to Michael Torin and he could put it in his museum of amazing amps. But yeah, I play the Syn 20 so often, and then I play my Plexi so often. Friedman BE100. I think I really like 100-watt amps, so I kind of lean towards 100-watt amps. And then if I'm going lower wattage, I typically will just do the Synergy. And then I have an old Princeton and stuff like that. So and then for gigging, I'm still kind of in a like, all right, I'm taking all the big stuff at the moment. So portable isn't yet where I'm at. 100% I'll be there. I could already feel that, but we shall see, Braxel. You have a choice between an Ubershaw and a Zuta. GBG 120, which would you take? Well, the Zuta is way more versatile. You could play a Led Zeppelin cover band with the Zuta if you wanted to. The Ubershaw Ultra has more tones in it than just balls out bonkers, but it's balls out bonkers. That's what it wants to do. So if you're playing heavy stuff and that brings you joy, then for sure, I think that the Ubershaw is like one of the most aggressive amps I've heard. It's super aggressive. The Zuta is also can do super aggressive, but it's got so many colors in between too. That's a really great Really, really great amp. So, you didn't say why or what, but if I had to take one, I mean, I'd take the Zuda. That I still have my Zuda. Right. Dude, so NAMM's coming up. I'm definitely going Thursday. That's the first day. And then I'm going to probably just be like, look, I got 15 minutes for all these people I got to see. Because I don't think I want to go back afterwards. And then there's a Kiesel event, which I've become friends with the Kiesel folks because they just made me the raddest guitar. And they're just not doing NAMM, they're doing their thing, but it's like down in San Diego. I don't think I want to devote an entire day to just pop down there and be like, hi, and then drive back, and that's a lot. And I already have no what do you call that thing that fights off diseases in your body? I forget what it's called. Ah, nice, man. Yeah, there's jam tracks in there. I got jam tracks on my album. Noisy Kitchen, songs from the Noisy Kitchen. Yeah, the only reason there's nothing that I am dying to see at NAMM. I've seen everything that I want to see already, probably. I'm quite content in my gear world. So yeah, it's really just to see the people. Really to see the people. Oh no, your beloved Rain parametric EQ input jack finally died. Has to go to service. Love parametric EQ in the loop since I play really low volumes and I like a great sound. Yeah, it is nice to be able to. I think that's like that bottom end thing. You play low volumes and you're like, well, okay, I got to dial out the fizz and dial in some thump. That's quite nice. I hope they're able to bring it back to life. Bring it back to life. If they don't, you can always get from Master Effects. They have great pedal replicas of the Furman PQ3. So this is a one band Furman PQ3. That sounds great. And you could kind of do the same stuff. I mean, you can't do the same stuff. They also have like a full 3-band. I think they have a 4-band, but yeah, the full deal. Hey, what do you think about the Maris stuff? I like them for rack style effects, especially the newer X modules. I like Maris stuff too. The Maris Mercury 7 reverb pedal is beautiful. It's really lovely and has this great modulation on it and stuff. I captured a one of the plates on that for my Rack Revival IR impulse response set. But like even if you like that sound, it's called Maris 7. Maris 7 plate 4, I think. And Mercury 7. Yeah. Merc 7 plate 4. The pedal is like next level. But I bought the delay. I had the delay for a while, and I didn't like the inherent tone of the delay. Cool stuff. You can do tons of rad stuff. And if I was just doing sound design or textural stuff or ambient, totally awesome. But I couldn't get the delay to just sound. It had a sound, and it was not the sound I was looking for. Love their reverb, so I see a super chat. I gotta find it. There it is. Hey. Hey, Raphael. Thank you, man. What do I think about Dr. Boogie pedals? I don't. Who's Dr. Boogie, man? Let's see. Dr. Boogie is a popular DIY guitar pedal circuit designed to emulate the dual rectifier. Oh, that's cool. Well, to be honest, then I was totally unaware of Dr. Boogie. I would love one day to get into pedal building. I just don't have the time. I know what'll happen is I'll buy the kit and it'll just sit in the corner in a box. That happens with I bought a little lamp thing that goes inside the Clase Azul, the beautiful bottles of tequila, and then you could just put this lamp component in it. It's like it'll make a beautiful lamp. It just sat there forever. Never did it, you know. Let's check back in the chat. Going back in time. Oh, what wireless did I decide on? I decided on, I have a video that was really fun to make. That video is with the Shure, the main one. It's like $800. The New X, that's like $300, and some cheap like $40 one. And I went with the New X because it sounded the same as the Shure. I think it actually had more range. No, I wasn't testing it on a stage with people. I was walking down the street and stuff and testing it there, but through a wall and door and stuff. The New X one worked great. And then it had a couple other things that I thought were really cool, like the way the power pack charges on the actual the unit itself. Well, that's really cool. And then the price, it's half price. So yeah, I think that New X one is awesome. It's really awesome. And then I took it to rehearsal and I completely forgot that I was using a wireless. So that's great, you know. Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you, John. Order the Red 7 Evo. Hope it's a good reactive load box. It is a good reactive load box. If you're not having success with it, it's not the load box. It is a really good load box. I would say it's one of the better sounding top 3. Like it's up there at the highest echelon of the load box and the way that the impedance curve and everything is dialed in, you know. What do I think of the SLO30? Is it loud enough to play with the band? Well, yeah, I mean, that's always a trick question, right? Like, is it loud enough to play with the Scorpions? Nope. Is it loud enough to play at any bar gig? Yeah, for totally. It's 30 watts loud. It sounds great. All right, looking long. Have you done a factory reset on your Verbera? Seems to be no instructions for doing it in the manual or online. Yeah, man. Unfortunately they put that out. I don't think they really knew how awesome it was, and they put out the V1 and it was missing things like program change, and then their next firmware came out, which is amazing. But I don't know. It's like those big. I think they're a big company, and they may already be on to the next thing. And I'm constantly emailing them and trying to talk to people and like, guys, you have something really great here. Like, dig in. So factory reset. I did do it, or did I? think I just deleted everything. It didn't know I didn't factory reset. No, this is what I did. I deleted all of the factory IRs. I didn't think their IRs sounded good that they had included. So I deleted them all. And then I was like, cool, how do I put them back? And they're like, oh, we don't have anything set up for you to put them back. What? That's insane, right? That's the product. I bought the product and it's volatile. Like it just disappears. I don't know. You to do it, you have to contact tech support. It's taking the good with the bad, man. They made an amazing pedal, but it's just not on point with the some of the other stuff. Oh, the rack wallpaper? That's actually Michael Torin's racks, just repeated over and over. He's got the best racks. Hey, Michael, your EVM 12L pack, is that the speaker cabs that Luke also used on the Isolation album tour? I know he used Mesa amps with 212 Mesa cabs. I believe so. How different those Mesa cabs sound, not really sure. I put in to that pack, that is a 112 pack with those Beal Pacific Woodworks cabs that belong to I'm half brain dead today. Sorry. That's Andrew Sinowek's cabs, his 112. So Dave has a 212, a big oversized 212 with EVs in there that I did that EV test. So I made an IR of both of those, and those are really cool too. They're much more bigger full 412 sound, and I think that might be more if you were going for the Luke sound for that with like the Mesa Boogie stuff. Love the reverb pack. What are the ones you're using the most? That is talking about the Rack Revival, Big Hairy Guitars Rack Revival, delay and reverb impulse response pack. So that is a set of impulse responses I captured from the PCM 70 and the H3000 and some of my other rack stuff. I have not a version 2, I would say a volume 2 coming also coming soon. What reverbs do I use the most in there? There's an extras folder, and I really like the Sunset Chamber. I really like the Luke. I've found Lukather's setting on the Strymon Blue Sky, and it sounds like the Sunset Chamber. I mean, that's just kind of where his ear is probably tuned to. So that's a really nice one. I'm kind of digging the SPX 90 sounds lately. There's only like, I just went through each preset, so there's like 8 or 10 presets, but I've been kind of vibing on those. Those are really great. The SRV 2000, the Roland SRV 2000, the Hall one, I have that as a preset for my live stuff, when we play Sweet Child of Mine, because that was like the reverb they used on that album, on all of Slash's guitars, on all the guitars. Has a kind of a distinct kind of sound. I really dig that. And then always in Lexicon, it's like tiled room, the PCM 70, tiled room, concert hall. Excuse me. Shit, man, I'm going down, I think. Ugh. But I occasionally will just drag and drop one in there and see like, oh, that's fun. See what's in there, All right, excuse me. What do I think about the Fractal FX3? Are you still using it? Or was just need to publish your IRs? I got it. Oh, nice. Oh, AxeFX 3. Right there. Yeah, I still got it. It's part of my live rig. As of right now, it's my pedal board and my effects. What I think I'm gonna do, and I have the you probably can't see, it looks black here. There's the opening here. This is the wireless. Here's the AxeFX. I think I'm gonna get a mini effects gizmo, which will allow me to put that into the loop of the AxeFX, and then I could use some of my favorite pedals because I just miss some of those, man. I think the biggest thing I miss, well, my past effects flanger, the hot for flanger is the best. That is so vibey. But the overdrives, like a real overdrive just has a thing that I just have not found on a digital overdrive, which is the same reason I'm using amps. And that's just basically it's reverb, chorus delay, and a little bit of leveling so that I could hit a verse and I don't have to like be so timid. I could just pull my level down, and then a solo section or a part that's more guitar oriented, that'll go up. So for that stuff, it's been amazing. It's just freaking 3 rack spaces. Come on, dude. Like, I know it's got a lot of IO on the back, but I could have a 1 rack space. I could have a 1 rack space thing. Still waiting for someone to put out an amazing modern 1 rack space effects processor. Yeah, I still have the Jose. That is super cool. Love the Jose. And I love the Friedman Dirty Shirley. I think that's one of the best. One of the best ever. You bought an ADA MP1 Tonex pack. Thanks, man. And thank you. There is a free DAW. Is there a free DAW? I would recommend to start recording. I'm new to this. Thanks. If you're on the Mac, get GarageBand for sure. It's free. You could use that for the rest of your life. You'll be rocking. Free on a PC. I'm sure there is one, but I would take a look at Reaper, Reaper. I think I put all the letters in there. Take a look at Reaper. I don't know if it's free anymore, but they have a sort of like try it out price, which I think is under $100. It's quite inexpensive, and it's fully featured. I mean, people go and record professionally in Reaper. I'm the Sin 20 IR with Deliverance and Pleximod. Yeah, this is great. A couple new modules coming that are dope. I think they'll both be at NAMM. Gonna be cool. Oh, look at that. Reaper. Reaper's great. Hey, do you use drum plugins like Superior for your product demos? If so, what are your favorites and sound packs for them? Yeah, I use that's my go-to, is because I professionally make recorded music, not on YouTube, for commercials and scores and stuff. I have a lot of stuff, a lot of products. Doesn't mean that it's like you have to have everything. I guess it's helpful because I've tried everything. So there is like Mixwave. They make some really good modern sounding drum stuff. Nolly, Nolly Get Good from Periphery. Nolly Get Good drums. NGG drums. They're really good. Superior is, or Easy Drummer. I would even say just get Easy Drummer. Easy Drummer is great because there are a lot of libraries for it. And they keep putting out stuff. But I think more than the libraries, the fact that they have a big MIDI catalog. And why is that important? Because if you're going to write, you could go in and say I have a riff. I'm going to start with a riff. And it's like da 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 da. Cool. Whatever. First thing on the top of my head. I'm going to just program 2-finger drums. Boom, da, gung, da, ga, dung, ga. Now I can just take that MIDI file and drop it into Superior or Easy Drummer and say, like, check out this MIDI file. Give me all of the MIDI drums that are kind of in that ballpark of the vibe and the pattern. And it will, okay, this is what we're looking at. Like, super. And now from within that app, I could drag out the MIDI drums and I could build my track, which is super helpful. A lot of the other companies have MIDI drums, and I've bought just MIDI drum. A lot of MIDI drum, just drummers out there that have packs that are like, hey, MIDI drum loops. So I'll get those. Super helpful for writing and that, because once you have it, you could just erase all the kicks and snares if you want and reprogram your own stuff, and while the hi-hats and stuff are going. So you can get a lot of mileage out of that. The sound stuff, the Superior Drummer stuff and Easy Drummer, they sound okay. They sound like they took them 60 or 70% of the way there for the most part, not 100% of the way there. So I really like the Tempesta drums, and I think that's Metal Machine. They sound pretty modern. Metal Machine I use. I like the Indie Drum one. Yeah. To be honest, of the drum sounds made of metal and Metal Machine, like if I'm doing the rock stuff, those are pretty dialed in nicely. The Bob Rock stuff is obviously dialed in nicely. But more often than not, I will not use their kicks and snares, and I'll go to something else like Hansen Audio, HANSEN Audio. Has a great drum sample packs. He doesn't have MIDI and all that, but I've sampled my own drums like in sessions and stuff. So I'll just pull. I've sampled off records. Like I just did a track where I grabbed an Alex Van Halen snare drum, and that's my snare drum. It's such a distinct Alex Van Halen snare drum. But the rest is like, keep the cymbals and then program in your kick and then replace the, I mean, it's we just open a bag where I could talk about drum programming forever. It was such an important thing for ages. It's so much easier now. You just get Easy Drummer and you drop in a thing and you're like, there you go. But 20 years ago, being able to program drums really made you stand out significantly, Sorry, guys, my nose is just letting me down. Give me 1 second. All right, happy, joy. Jeepers. All right, I'll see if I can go a little longer here. Hey, Mike. Hi, bud. Do you have any acoustic panels in your studio? Yeah, they're from LA Acoustics, company in LA, but they're all doing the same thing. I don't have a lot. I have, obviously, this is my desk, and I have a big, like 2-3 inch, 5-foot panel above there. Then there's a light, and then another one, And then this is the back wall, right? The camera is right here. It's 6 inches from the back wall. And there's big 3x5 there, one in the corner. And that's it. The room sounds okay. The room sounds pretty solid. So it, I came from a fully tuned room. Professionally, we spent gazillions of dollars getting it to be super professional. And what I got from that more than anything else is to know what a great sounding room sounds like and what I'm supposed to be listening for. And so now that I have it dialed in, it's like, all right, great, I can work with this. The other thing I want to recommend to you guys, look, I get to share my screen again. I highly recommend this. This is IQ Multimedia Arc X. Do I accept all? Be sure, whatever. And then it made it disappear. Coming back. Here it is. So it's a box. It's not software necessarily. So it's a box about this big. It goes between your DAW, your converters, out to your speakers. So it sits outside of your computer. And essentially it's like an EQ with phase alignment and all that kind of stuff. And comes with this little microphone. $99. $99. It's a stupid price. And then you have that turned on. You measure your room with their software. Beep, boop, boop, pew, 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 pew. And then it goes, hey, dude, you have this huge dip at 160. In my case, I have this huge spike at 160. So sometimes if I hear something and I go, like when I didn't have that on, I go like, oh, this guitar sound has a lot of 160. It's like, oh, no, that's the room. That's not the actual sound. So this fixes that. You get to tell it how much of fixing do you want. And then you're off to the races. And then at first you turn it on, you're like, this sounds weird. Or maybe you'll go like, oh, this sounds good. It sounds better. That's what it is now for me. I'm like, oh, thanks, it's fixed. I haven't turned it off for 2 years. I've had it on for 2 years. And I've never made a video because I have half a video done. And then I was like, well, I need to make sure this is actually good. And it's good. It's not good. It's great. I would take that anywhere with me. So more than acoustic panels, I would get that. $99. Acoustic panels are like, I don't know, $300 a pop or something. They're expensive. Yeah, and speaking of the old studio, Braxel, yeah, Warren Hewer moved into the old studio when we left. He bought the building. Really enjoying the red and the EVM 12L pack. Yeah, the red is my go-to. It's just called Big Hairy Guitars Impulse Cabinet IR. And it's all really, it's not all, but it's a lot of that cab, that 412 that Dave gave me with greenbacks and vintage 30s. And it's combinations of it and me dialing it in and that. And then the EVM 12L, obviously they just don't play well together. I've tried blending them and stuff and it's like they cancel each other out, Hey, well, first, thanks for listening to my album. What did I use on Spectrals from my new album, Songs from the Noisy Kitchen? Love the tone on that one. The Spectrals was, it's one of two amps that I can't remember. Hang on one second. Spectrals. Yeah, Spectrals was the Bogner JB45. Actually, and then if you go back, if you just look up on my channel, look up the demo video for the JB45. You'll see like it's essentially the demo for spectrals. Because then I ended up cutting drums and all that kind of stuff. Live drums for it and remixing it and adding in that. But you can see exactly what was going on with that. What's my studio monitor recommendations? Well, I mean, it really depends on how much money you want to spend and how big of the room you're trying to fill. So really hard to say. I mean, it's like if you said recommend a car, and like that's it. Like, do you need a truck or do you need a little sedan? Maybe you could later on just throw a little more info. All right, can I use the big hairy guitar IR in my DAW or IR loader? You can use it in both. If you're talking about the cabinet stuff, yeah, they just drop right in. They're just WAV files. Totally just WAV files. What guitar action setting would you consider a gold or standard? You mean like height in that? I don't know. I should really like learn some numbers. I feel like my guitars have a higher action than most people. And then Dave set up a guitar for me recently. And he goes, yeah, the action, here you go. I put the action pretty low. And I was like, bruh, that action's high. So I would say like Dave's action's here, my action's here, and Pete Thorne's action is here from what I have played on Pete Thorne's guitars. Maybe, you know, don't quote me on that, but I played a Pete Thorne guitar. I'm like, whoa, that's some low action. All right, going down the line here. Oh yeah, back to Reaper. So Reaper's like $35 if you make less than $1,000 a year with music. Yeah, and I think it's just honor system. Am I still using the Red 7 Mini multi-stereo line mixer, MSLM? Do you have any advice on how to record through it? And that's a weird question, I think. How to record through it. It has XLR outs, so you can record into the DAW and then put an IR after that, if that's what you mean. I'm not 100% sure what you mean. Yeah, I still have that. Mine was a prototype that he sent me, and he's in Italy, so it's not like I could just give it back to him and be like, fix it. Mine has a little bit of bleed from channels. So like, for instance, if you have a delay and a reverb and a chorus, and I turn off the delay, I'll still hear a little bit of the delay. So it makes it, I can't really like professionally use it. But I have it, and occasionally if I need something like, ooh, that'll be perfect, then I'll just run through that. Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you for listening to it. That's great. Michael, I didn't hear you mention the Bricasti design reverb. Was that an oversight? You mean when I was talking about like the reverbs I like? Yeah, I mean, the Bricastis are good. Actually, I think it's called Studio One is the IR that I captured off of that Bricasti. It's good. Now, here's the thing with the Bricasti. It's not meant, the unit, the sounds aren't meant to be larger than life and blow you away. It's like a subtle behind the scenes glue that just keeps shit together. It's like a mom, a real good mom. Where like, it's not about the mom. I mean, yes, sometimes it's about the mom. It's not about the mom. It's about like mom controls the kids, make sure everything's good, but it's the everyone goes, look how the good the kids did. Dude, mom, she was the puppet master. So the Bricasti is a little like that. It's not out there trying to get the glory. Like it just makes the other sounds sort of glue together more, and it hides. It's much of a sort of hideaway sort of reverb. Lexicon stuff goes, what's up? It's like you know Liberace. Remember Liberace? Like, I'm here. That's Lexicon. Cool. 2 Verberas, yeah, man. Oh, in your Kemper. It's nice, dude. Nice. Yes, I have the IK multimedia in ear thing in a box somewhere. I haven't tried it. I'm a little less here. Okay, so sometimes I just shoot from the hip on some stuff, and I may have to change my opinion later. I don't care. Speakers, room correction, I care. That's genius. Headphones, like, I don't care. I'll put on headphones, and any headphone is fine. Put on the Sonys that are like $80. They kind of sound horrible, but they're bright and everyone has them. You go, okay, just make it work. And it's a little like going to someone's car and listening in the car. It's like, is that what reality is? It doesn't matter. It's like it's isolated and you can hear all these different details. So I don't know. For me, I don't know. I have the Slate system. I bought that Steven Slate studio, whatever it's called, where it emulates you being in a studio and stuff. And I think that's all snake oil. Doesn't work. I've done the latest stuff. Waves then did it because Slate was so successful with it. It's all nonsense. Unless you're having great success with it. And if you have great success, then it works, right? But I believe if you're having great success with it, you would also have great success without it. Oh, Braxel, you have the Trinov? Oh, yeah. So the Trinov is essentially like in a PC. The same thing I was talking about that the IK Multimedia room correction does. The Trinov is the next level price too. That's not $99. It's like real price. But next level of it. I just didn't really want to deal with a PC. Almost got the Trinov, but I'm super happy. I'm glad you're digging that. Yeah, from what I've heard, there is nothing more better than the Trinov. The mom edition. Yeah, okay. I'll for the volume 2, maybe I'll put a bank. There's a lot of presets in the Bricasti, and other people have captured the Bricasti and stuff. So I just felt like, well, that's redundant, but I'll do some Bricasti captures, a couple more, so that it's a little more comprehensive in there. It's good stuff. John Bingham, what's up, dude? John Bingham, Bad Cat in his house. Cool. Anyone else got a question? I could stay till 11, and then I'm gonna cut out and take some Sudafed or something. I can answer a complicated question right now. John Bingham does. Yeah, the funny thing is, like, you think about Muscle Shoals and these classic 50s, 60s studios. And I mean, they were winging it. They weren't measuring the room to perfection. So I think there's a lot of value in the acoustic engineer stuff, but no matter what you do, like the Trinov and the IK Arc X thing can make an improvement. I've worked with guys that did amazing sounding stuff in headphones, and you're like, oh, that's all it took is some headphones? Dang. Oh yeah. Oh well, so John Bingham, after you mentioned the Scorpions and the Zoo, I went and listened to that whole album. That's pretty great. Pretty great. I was never a big Scorpions fan, but yeah, I have to go back. Funny though, like when I hear the Scorpions, I don't necessarily think that it's like the guitar sounds are particularly unique, like overly unique. Maybe I have to find one. It's just like, they're kind of like straight down the middle, like a perfect blend of metal and rock. Like Iron Maiden is too metal and AC/DC is too rock. Like I didn't like AC/DC when I was, aside from a couple songs, but when I was in college, I was like, it's the same song over and over. Now I love AC/DC. But the Scorpions kind of sit in the middle. Like they bring the metal, but they also bring the rock. They didn't go too metal. Running 4 different 212 cabs in your recording studio. I get great tone. Sometimes wonder if I'm missing out on a 412. In my opinion, I think you probably are. If you have the space for 4 212 cabinets, I would keep 2 212 cabs and put in a 412 cab. And I think you'll go, oh, no matter what, it's going to be different. I think it'll be more different than 4 212s. I think having the 1 412, it's the frequencies just, they change, they respond differently. I've been looking for a 212 that gives me the 412 thing, and I have yet to find one. All right, listen to Love Drive. Is it Lover Drive or Love Drive? Scorpions. I always thought it was Lover Drive. Scorpions Love Drive. What do I know on it? Oh, it's Love Drive. Oh, it's like the gummy boob cover. All right. I'll listen to that today. Good stuff. Saw Scorpions 88 Monsters of Rock tour in Philly. I saw the Scorpions in after 2000. They co-headlined a tour with Whitesnake. It was awesome. Klaus Miner kept going like, "Hello, Hollywood, California." It's like we weren't in Hollywood. We just decided that where we was Hollywood, California. But I guess if you're, coming from the other side of the world. I love some of the Chris Olivas. Is that how you pronounce it? In my head, it's always Olivia, but yeah, Chris's tones are great. I think he used like 2 Boss Odie overdrives in a row. That's what I heard. I don't know. I'll have to give it a go. It's really cool. Noise. Would I call myself a studio rat? Yeah, that's, so old school. Because now you just push a button, you're like, yeah, look at my song. I made a song. But yeah, I have devoted my life to the studio generally. Nice, gang. All right, I'm gonna go listen to some Scorpions. Awesome, and blow my nose. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with me this fine Saturday morning, January the 10th. Hope you all have a great weekend. And NAM is coming up, so I don't know. Probably won't be doing anything during that NAM week. Maybe next week. We'll see how if I survive this. Quick last one. Interested in making my strats active? Have I compared the Tyler with EMG equipped strats? The Clapton strat with the mid boost. Yeah, they all kind of sound different. They all sound different. I have a strat with lace sensors and the mid boost thing. I have EMGs and the Tyler. They're all different. I think the easiest thing to do, maybe even the cheapest, is to buy one of the pre-wired EMG pick guards, slap it on your strat, see if you like it, and then go from there. And if you don't like it, you take it off and you go back to the passive pickup life, you know. All right, gang. We'll talk to you later. See ya.